Today's teacher in the classroom is Dr. Lorraine Day. Today we talked about making decisions in an uncertain future. But as Dr. Day says, that's certainty, that uncertainty is our certainty. I don't know. So this is our little recap. And because if I do a recap without Dr. Day, everybody goes, where's Dr. Day? Where's Dr. Day? So we've got Dr. Day here. Share a little bit about what people miss or what people can expect when they go see the entire class today, Dr. Day.
Well, we talked about how to make this uncertain future certain. Because when we know God, God is in charge of everything that's happening in the world. He knows exactly what's going to happen. And when we search for him with all our heart, he'll put his disposition and character in us, and he will make our decisions for us through us. So we don't have to worry about the uncertainty of the future, because the future, it will be bad, but we've got to keep focused on what God has in mind at the end, where God's going to save everyone, but he's going to do it through us going through hard times and reaping what we've sown. We have to have enough association with sin so we recognize how bad it is, and we decide on our own that we don't want it anymore. So the uncertainty is never uncertainty when we know Jesus Christ. And that's the important thing that we have to learn. And that's what we've been talking about this morning. And so I gave you the text on how we can be anxious for nothing and ask God to run our life. And so we never have to be uncertain about the future.
I love it. I love it. We also talked about getting closer to God. And of course, I've got these upside down facing me, but we talked a lot about the New Truth series, 100 Lessons from the Exodus, right, and the book of Revelation. Why is it so important now, Dr. Day, for people to really take in how God protected the Israelites for 40 years?
Well, that's right. But God led them into the same location and situation that he is taking the whole world now, into a situation where we'll have no food, no water, no electricity for heating and cooling, air conditioning. And God took them, the Israelites, into the wilderness where they had no food, no water. They had no ability to remain cool in the hot of the day or warm in the cool of the night in the desert where it could get very cold. And he provided all of it when they trusted him. Mm-hmm. And so that was what the whole Exodus experience was about, was learning to trust God. And so many people didn't, that the whole first generation had to die off before they went in. There were only 2 people of the oldest group that left Egypt that went into the promised land, and that was Caleb and Joshua. All the others had to die off because they did not trust God. It was the second generation who were really raised in the wilderness who learned to depend on God for everything. And that's what we'll have to do. People talk about prepping and all that, and hoarding food and making gardens, growing gardens. They're going to make it illegal. God is putting us in a position that we will have to learn to trust him if we want to survive. And that's what the Exodus is all about. And the Bible even tells us that the Exodus lessons 3,000 years ago are for our time, the people who are living at the end of time, which is now. And then, of course, Revelation shows us that all of these things were predicted in the Bible 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. 3,000 years ago in Daniel, and 2,000 years ago in Revelation when John wrote it. And we discussed this because all of it is predicted. The pandemics, the wars, how the population of the earth is going to be decimated. It's all in Revelation. We discuss it in that series. So those 2 series are critical to understanding what's going on now.
And there's even more than that in today's class. You will not find this class in Facebook or YouTube. You will find it in Odyssey and BitChute. So check out the conversation. Go to whenyounneedafriend.com, subscribe to the channel, and then like and follow all the different social media so that you know when Dr. Day is in the class, where everything is, and you can start creating your path to be closer to God. One other thing that we talked about is that the I Am the Solution workshop is going to be on January 14th, 15th, and 16th. And Dr. Day is always there on Saturday to help us get closer to God. So for whatever reason, if you want to really spend some time, some quality time with yourself and God and Dr. Day and myself, this is a wonderful weekend to do so. So please go to whenyouneedafriend.com and subscribe, just register so that you can be a part of that as well. Dr. Day, thank you so much for being in the class today. You're always so wonderful to just, the information just flows from you to us. And I am grateful that the people that are tuning in are open to hear what you have to say. So thank you so much, Dr. Day.
And it's all good news eventually. It's all good news.
Every knee will bow, every tongue confess.
To the glory of God the Father. They always leave that out because it doesn't glorify God if people confess and bow with clenched teeth.
Amen.
Glorifies God when everybody agrees.
Amen. And please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott and Dr. Lorraine Day wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever.